Good evening, everybody. Most of them are not true, so they have to say something. Joking. So, thank you, Empiric Media, for inviting me on this August session with so learned people here. If I see it's a Fintech significance of innovation. So, innovation has to be there, and how significant it is in the current market trend and how the market practices are, and how the finance function is evolving, and what are the things that we are doing, we ought to do, and where we have to go, how we have to manage our function as how we were managing it before, how we will manage it in the future. So that's a kind of discussion that we should have. I am not here for kind of giving any gyan and all. So let's have a discussion on this. That I think all of our finance functions, please raise your hands. Most of. So for a discussion on finance functions, so I would request all of you to be interactive and we discuss, because I have not prepared any text. I just got some material that what are happening and all, as it was as late as a few days only I was told that I have to be there. So anyway, thank you. If you see over the recent year, finance has constantly evolved and reshaped its ways of working and roles and responsibility. What is the strategic business partnering is the key word currently if we see. And it will not be kind of in place to discuss what we were some 10, 20 years, 25 years before when we were doing our articleship training during chartered accountancy days and all. We were mostly about accounting and taxation and compliances, which acts are applicable to the company, and what accounting standards are there, how the books of accounts need to be closed. During articleship, we have done all those calculator, this thing, and trial balance was not matched for any company because there was no computers. So manually we have the trial balance was matched, and then from there trading profit and loss and balance sheet were made. Grouping, schedules, and then were made. Then gradually computers came and all these manual calculator and matching the trial balance went off. So apart from this, significantly very little we are doing. Banking and treasury management, any such way we had to invest and all were there and all. If anything else, there were some 2.5 decades ago, if we were doing anything, CFOs or finance functions were doing, if anybody could tell. Sir, please. Anything else we are doing significant to that? No? Nothing. Fine. So now from that till as of today, we are in July 2022, what we are doing? At that, some few years before, we were supposed to be kind of experts in kind of left brain competencies, logical, rational, based on data, facts, and only facts. This is what was expected of us, and dutifully we were doing that. Currently, it is more of a right, at least for the CFO at least, more of right brain competencies are there, which we need interpersonal skills, we need innovation, we need to think through, we have to tell a story to get people along, we have to kind of like some a director preparing a movie, we have to do all these things. So this is what is expected of us now. So if you see, to summarize this, what right brain competencies are required? Provide leadership, build relationship, demonstrate commercial awareness, and take the initiative. This one was not there with finance function. Finance function was there to say no to anything that comes to them. Finance function's default answer is no, unless and until the person comes 7 times and go after our life, we were not saying yes. This is how we have been doing this thing. Now, and never ever any finance guy who had taking initiative for the company. The initiative has to be taken by somebody else, and we were basically doing the controllership part. So it was there will be exceptions, but controllership was the most we were doing, that we can say. But you have to be a controller as well as an enabler. So that enabling part was not there mostly, if we see. So right now it's more of enabling, and if we have developed system and processes and internal control mechanism there, we have independent people doing the audits, and we know how it is. We have a dashboard, automated dashboard, which every CFO need to see for as far as business, what cash is there, what expense is there, everything they are coming. So it is not much of a controlling that he has to do, or the finance function has to do. Most of these things are now automated. So it is most of a business enabling that is the most differential thing that before and now. So with how you will enable the business, how technology need to be used, what are the kind of checks and balances you will keep with the technology, is what is basically engulfing us. How? We don't have, at this point of time, it's a work in progress. We have not mastered that till date. Even if we have clear intention and willing and even eager to do that, I don't think we have applied all kind of technology, or mostly what is available to the technology based and all. Many companies like new generation companies, let's say I was discussing with Mr. Sanjay Saxena, CFO Paytm. His is a technology based company. Their revenues come from how technology enabled and how payment is made and all. So apart from that, if you go for a steel maker or a kind of garment manufacturer or some other manufacturing units and all, you won't find that kind of use of technology there. So where the laggard is, how they are lagging behind on that, what could be done to do that, that I think is something we need to introspect, and we need to get the right solutions and get the right answers. Then what we need to do is that the collaborate at scale centralization and disaggregation initiative on this, how we need to do that. Previously, this debate goes on, like there is a head office, there are different offices where, let's say, manufacturing units are there, whether the accounting, etc., and all the processing of payments, etc., has to be done at each of the manufacturing units, or it has to be done from the center and all. This is chicken and egg story, everybody debates. But of late, we have seen that it's always better to have a centralized system on that. If anybody disagree with me, kindly, I'll actually be wizened with any inputs on this? Well, I have seen by deploying people at different locations and getting that, you have to have more manpower. The kind of skill set required for each of the function may not be available at those kind of locations where manufacturing units are there, are generally out of the town and all. And when you are at a Mumbai or Delhi or a Bangalore kind of, you're sitting there, you have all the competencies, all the skill sets available, all the resources there. So keeping all this in view and keeping in view of how India operates and how our this thing, so it's better to have centralized services in whatever you can do and have experts there guide this thing. And whatever like Happy was giving this presentation and all, how expense management need to be, travel management need to be done, how another software on expense management I was discussing that before the invoice, an invoice comes, then somebody has to manually check GST number ठीक है, ये ठीक है, वो ठीक है, उसमें ये हुआ है, ये सब चीज़ चेक करके उसमें PO number, this, that and all. Now everything that comes, you just, there is a person who is there who will, when the invoice comes, he just, if physical invoice is there, he just get it into the system, a soft copy, and then he puts it in the software and it checks with the your PO that is generated from your ERP system or your other software, whatever it. So that manual interventions are not there. So for payment processing and all, if you do that on a centralized basis with applying this technology, then I think we are there in terms of these things. Reimagine outcomes organizations. This is something, how to predict future. What will be the outcome 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line. So how will we predict the future? What will happen to this organization? What will happen to this business? What will happen to this kind of industry? So how we will reimagine this in 5 years' time? For that, we need robust data management. My predecessor speaker was quite elaborate from HSBC stuff. So on how data to be managed, and also I don't want to dwell upon that. So that data management has to be there, and the analytics tool need to be used on a real-time basis. And on the basis of that, we need to predict the future. As we know, the cameras got evaporated, everything was into mobile. The watch, only stylish people wear watches now. Who have a passion for watches or stylish people, they only have watches. Otherwise, hardly any people wear watches, 20% maybe of that. And at our time, if we were clearing 10th exam with a good first class, we were gifted a watch by our grandfather, father, kind of. That's from where we come from at that point of time. So we need to see whether in future, in 5 years, 10 years down the line, this business will exist. What are the kind of risk that is coming to the business, the way we do the business, the way people behave. I have been long associated with telecom companies, and I have seen the telecom revolution in India, how it has impacted the lives of all. Mostly my tenure with IT companies and telecom companies, and in telecom companies, IT is the backbone. So we have all partners, all the pioneers of IT field were there. So if you see in the last 20-25 years, which sectors has impacted our lives are only two, IT and telecom. the way we socialize, the way we interact, the way we live our lives, that has gone a drastic change due to these two sectors, IT and telecom sectors. I remember during my college days when there was only this telephone, fixed telecom service was there. For all middle class people, there is one telecom in the hall. It will be good decorated. A call will come, somebody will pick up and then call that person. And it will be for all neighbors also, the call will come for you and you will go and call people also. So when we were studying in college, if any of our friend has a girlfriend and he wants to speak to her, so he can't just call and speak. He needs another girl who will call that number, say that I am her friend, and then the girl will come to the picture, then he will hand over that call. So this is the kind of effort that we are making at that point of time. Now you just WhatsApp. You can so this is how telecom has changed our lives. So the way we were doing business or we were going through our lives has changed because of evolution in technology. In future, as people are saying, we will have driverless cars who will fly on their own. You just feed the detail and you just sleep, have a listen to music and you will reach, let's say, Bangalore from here in half an hour time. This is not far, is what people are predicting. So with this, how the business that we are in, how they will be conducted, what kind of futuristic things we need to do so that we are not got out from the market. So that's how we need to see, and finance has to do, as I say, take initiatives on all this. And strategy part, finance has to be on top of it. Even if there is some organizations have strategy as a different function. They say that finance are day-to-day doing things, so strategy should be there. Who will only think. And I have seen all the strategy people, most of the things, with all due respects, they just think, and their things are also, all their thinkings are also not based upon practicalities. So finance has to be there, who knows the basic things, how practical difficulties arise and how to do that, moderate that. So this future insights and all, how things are going to come. Then this is a basically all generalistic thing. Then actual to do things in the organization, what need to be done? The finance function, each member of the team has to be aware and be open and also work upon himself that these are the things going to be changed and these are the new skill set I need to acquire. These are some learnings that I have done through the years need to be all learned. And a new way of working has to be done, a smart way of working need to be done and all. So the CFO need to basically, whatever changes are being done, whatever the strategy is being done, he needs to put finance function in the fulcrum of the things. And for that, he has to make his team ready for that. And second thing is that finance function has to understand that how they will provide long-term value to the organization. Then only they will be respected and their own value will also increase when you provide the long-term value to the organizations. How you will provide long-term value? As I told, these are the measures that we need to take. Provide the open finance function with a focus on trusted technology transformation and a new talent profile. So it talks about technology transformation. So transformation initiatives has to be done, which has to come with newer technology, which are robust, trusted, cutting edge. So we have seen Happy and all other like clear text is there and all. In their chosen field, they are cutting edge and they are eliminating quite a few steps and man hours in that. So these kind of adaptation of cutting edge technology has to be there with finance. And as I told, finance has to be the bugbearer of, the torchbearer of strategy and all. And finance need to play an important role in decision making. What are the decision making process? Finance has to be center stage in that. Otherwise, the value of finance will not be there, or the value of the business will not. Finance CFOs and finance people are uniquely placed in terms of getting all the basic data there, the analysis there, and also a sense of the ground, how things will be, even if different projections are being made or different this thing, but how it will be because they have seen that through that. So based upon that, they need to moderate the business, direct them with the right kind of mix, and in that way they need to be part of the decision making. Then how, the last one, the sustainability part, how the business will be sustainable. As I was discussing before also, the sustainability is the key. Nowadays, nothing you can take granted that this business will sustain for some years or some decades. There are massive disruptions happening because of technology. So we need to be very, there is very volatility around, so we need to be very careful in terms of how we are getting. So what is the sustainability, what we are doing? The sustainability has to be driven by finance. I don't find any other department so equipped as finance is for driving sustainability. Sustainability includes your risk management, compliance management and all. Risk, as we understand, risk management, as we all finance people understand, it is identification, assessment and mitigation of risks. You need to kind of smell risk that will come in a few months or few years time kind of. So that's how we need to see that something will come a few months or few years later. This is how this is. And in India, this part of risk management is not more enabled. This is mostly in Western countries. I have seen mostly in US. They spend a lot of money on this. We have not done this. With this COVID pandemic and all, and how the businesses were disrupted, the entire lives got disrupted and all. This needs focus now. So this is more of a discussion that is on the finance function and CFOs, how they will do. Now, if anything, any topic that we can cover, any questions, anything.